We started out crazy. What's up, y'all? Thank you for joining the Lounge Talk.
Yeah, I did
it. Thank y'all for joining the Lounge Talk, man. We appreciate you. Do me a favor if you haven't done so. When you get on, like and share. You know the deal. As you see, we got one of the best pastors in the state of Arkansas, Pastor Byron Calhoun. Thank you for joining us.
Man, I appreciate you fellas for having me, man. For real.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Of course, when we get started, we like to ask everybody how their day was. So we're gonna start with Pastor Calhoun. How was your day today?
Man, it was a blessed day, a long day, man. No complaints, man. Man, as hot as it is, just to be able to walk outside and not pass out, we blessed, man. We blessed.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Boy.
Folk passing out just for going to check the mail.
Yeah, quick.
It's crazy.
What happened, man? I was checking the mail.
Checking the mail.
Yeah, I did it. Y'all, this ain't gonna be good. Like, listen, man, I ain't really this short. Like, they just got to see something.
That's what I was telling P. I was like, I gotta find another chair, man.
They sitting on stools. Man. Let my seat up, man.
I let it up as high as I could.
Yeah, this high as it go. Asked for his daughter's boosters. Yeah, I'ma do it.
We ain't gonna make it, man.
Right.
P. How was your day today, man?
Blazing. For sure. Like Byron said, man, just did a little work job, but still blessed. Like I told one of my homies this morning, man, somebody got it worse than you, bro. So
that's right.
Just being grateful for the moment, and glad we was able to do this today. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Had a decent day, y'all. I work only on Tuesday through Friday, so it's a blessing. So Mondays are the chill days, part of the weekend. So to God be the glory. Anyway, but tonight, y'all, we're gonna have a little discussion. Just put you in the inside world of the musician world. If you're not familiar with musicians in the church, it could be kind of, I ain't gonna say young and the restless type drama, but it could get there. But we're gonna talk about, what is the disconnect between the musicians of the church and, church leaders and the musicians. We're gonna talk about that for a few minutes. We just want to get y'all down, viewpoints on it too. This is a deep topic. A lot of folks don't like talking about it. I'm not scared to talk about it. I've been living this since I was 14, so I know firsthand. I know P and Pastor Calhoun know. Matter of fact, all of us are musicians.
Man, and let me say, these are some cold, real talk. They humble. Then this is, so y'all, we're going to be laughing and joking. And listen, but when I tell y'all, these are some of the coldest musicians and humble. Like, I'm proud of what the fellas have accomplished. And even what their future holds, man, is major. And with the spirit that they have while they do what they do and how they are there for their pastors and even just the church as a whole, man, major blessings on y'all future, man, for real.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. I don't feel like I'm cold, but
Boy, same here. I'm in the pocket.
We work. We in the pocket. We play it.
Want it though, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you straight. They Cash actually just now kind of putting fields and some stuff like that. But as far as like in the pocket for studio, especially studio sessions, man.
Yeah,
want that, man.
Yeah. We gonna. I receive it.
Yeah,
I know P receives it.
Oh, most definitely.
It's definitely. I can honestly say, there's a lot of cold cats out there that aren't humble, that aren't seeking to really build up the kingdom of God. Some people like, where my check at? If I ain't got it, we ain't coming. Where my check at?
I got another gig. I could be happy.
You're right.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say, I know the disconnect is we don't really value the musician because it seems like it's an easy job from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I can see that.
For folk that don't really know how to play, they think we just get up there, we know what we doing. Somebody bust out in the song, we can catch it, not knowing that we we didn't died a couple times before, not knowing that. But when I say die, that means like you get up there, you look stupid. So I mean, you really work on your craft. You spend hours a day, not just hours, but sometimes as much time as you can get. Maybe 18 minutes, it may be an hour a day. You really have to put the work in, and so people don't see the off time that you put in the work in, the songs you learning. You got to learn the vocal parts as well, so you won't clash.
Right.
Especially if you play keys, organ, guitar, bass, so you won't clash with the vocals. So a lot of people don't really understand, what it really takes and why it feels like it's such a high demand when we ask for, payment. Now I'm not the one to just be like, I want $450,000, but we work at this craft,
Right.
and it's sometimes people just see the Sunday morning part of it and don't see
Sunday morning glam.
Monday through Saturday. They don't see that we listening to music, trying to do our job at our other job, trying to work and listen to music.
Right.
So when we get to rehearsal, we won't be looking stupid. Especially if you're a minister of music, you're responsible for like everything.
Yeah.
The musicians, the vocals. And listen, if you ain't doing your job, your pastor will let you know. Hey, let me come holler at you in the study real quick.
Right.
And some pastors are bold. Like, I ain't gonna say no pastors' names, but they will bust you out in service. That's what y'all practice on. And so it's a
We heard this one.
Right.
it's really
No more
a
other
work.
songs on that CD. 11 tracks on that. That's number 3 was your favorite one.
So it's really a craft. So and I'm gonna get your guys' opinions on this too. Being a musician, it's work. I do believe that churches should understand. We're not asking to break the bank, but sow into your musicians, because if you want them to be faithful, give them something to be faithful for. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
For sure.
But give me some spiel, guy. What y'all think about the musicians and the disconnect between churches? We all musicians. So what do you guys think? About just the disconnect part of it. What do you guys?
So man, my thing is, I think most times it'll tie down to the financial part of it. And what I mean by that is, I think for some churches, it's not that they don't want to, or not that they, not that they wouldn't like to. I think on some of them, it goes to show on what they can or can't do financially. However, man, it should be different ways to kind of show that appreciation.
Right.
So if you was asking for $500 a Sunday, and I'm just throwing that number out, and we can only afford $250, least I can do is, like, when we go out to eat, like, man, let me take care of your meal at least, or hey fellas, like, to save some gas. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out. Hey, y'all drive the church bus. There's something, but don't let it just be a no. Let it be like a, man, I'm trying. Like, y'all work me like.
Right.
And I think when musicians see the pastor's heart, I think that validates and supplements for a lot. Not saying that it's going to supplement for that money piece,
For sure.
but at least the heart of the pastor and the heart of the church, and to say, like, man, I see now, like, he want to, and then as the church grow, they grow.
Right, for sure.
Right.
I definitely agree, and kind of coming from, I guess you could say, grassroots in the beginning. For me, like, well, first and foremost, I feel musicianship is a lost art nowadays.
Right.
Just people working, period. If you look everywhere, everybody's hiring. And I've rode by a lot of these churches too, and on their kiosks, they got musician needed. So that's why I believe it's a lost art or slash like career, because I mean, even in the schools, it's not as many people indulging in music like that.
Right. That's true.
I remember when we was all growing up, sometimes there were people like pushing and supporting. You had a lot of people who wanted to play the drums, and you had to share, or certain people, knew how to play piano, and they would like try to, even the church would help try to pay for lessons
Yeah.
for certain individuals to try to, learn. I don't know if that's particularly going on now in this age. But like Pastor Calhoun was saying, like every church and stuff is different. And like you say, certain ministries you start like maybe not being able to pay, but at least getting to a point to where they can contribute in a certain type of way. And like Pastor was saying, is as far as the heart of the church and the ministry and the people really is key to a musician actually being like at a church. And that's another lost thing too, because like you were saying earlier, James, more people are looking at it for the money and not like I'm perfecting God's gift, like trying to perfect their craft.
That's
like you
true.
say, a lot of cats ain't at work listening to the songs and learning their keys. And I'm not I always hear the word transpose all the time. I be rolling because as I got older, I started realizing, I thought they knew all their keys. No, that's the keyboard doing the work. You know what I mean? So, and you can tell the difference from those musicians who know all their keys and know they can switch keys and know all the songs,
Right.
because they actually studying their craft, and you can see in their playing skills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this makes sense, but you can like feel them.
Yeah.
I laugh at brother Pastor Dewey, cause his musician is Jay, right? To play organ.
I think so.
He always anybody in the band, he was like, give your contribution, you know what I'm saying? And they be going in, but them boys study and they love their craft.
Mm-hmm.
During the week. Them boys is putting in. So Sunday, like you said earlier, the musicianship is serious because they help usher in the presence. Because let's just be honest, a lot of people come into the church for the music.
Man. Listen,
it's the gateway.
Let me say this as a pastor that's still a rookie in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but doing it now for 10 years. I think any pastor that can't admit that for a certain crowd of people, especially people that's just getting in the church,
Right.
is not telling the truth with themselves.
Right.
Like
For
we
real.
know that. Like until you get rooted and get excited about saying, I want to hear the word. Let's be real. It's the music that's pulling them in. And
Yeah.
y'all hear some valuable stuff. So I believe when money is an aspect, but not the aspect, I think that's what makes it. I think that's what makes it different, because we know, and I'm blessed, man. And shout out to my sister, man. My sister is our musician, man, and has come a real long way.
Yeah, Nikki.
But I don't take advantage of her just because she is my sister.
Right.
Shout out to Miss V Mays, who comes over to, help us out. And right now we're looking for a drummer right now. So with that being said, man, like I'm the one, like if they saying they want to do a lesson or a conference or something, like cool, church, let's send them there if they want to learn. Like
for real.
if they looking at training or want to go, the least we can do is send them there. So again, we may not be able to pay the $700 a Sunday or whatnot, but at least we can send them and take care of their training. And not only take care of their training, we're going to buy them a meal, like for that day. Like it's things we can do, as leaders and as a church to show people that, hey, I appreciate you and your gift and your craft.
For sure.
Most definitely. I know one thing, especially being a musician, you get burned out. People take your craft for granted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they take ministry for granted, but really people take your musician craft for granted, because I've seen it to where they expect you to pour out, and then someone won't even say thank you.
Right.
Appreciate you. Thank you for helping me. Accompanying me when I'm preaching. Or thank you. It's like, nah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You supposed to do this. Like, and then a lot of people see the disconnect and they leave, and they wonder why when they go out and play for artists, secular artists who pours into them
big time,
and then they want to step around the pulpit. See, I knew it was nothing to the musicians. They ain't anointed. No, you just ain't really just poured into them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, don't get mad when they trying to eat.
Right. Because some of them, that's their livelihood.
livelihood.
They don't have that other job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially some of the cold ones who are on a whole nother level.
Right.
On the stratosphere. Like one of my favorite movies, is Soul. Y'all have seen this like a animated joint? I
With
think
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I have.
And a lot of musicians go into a zone, and you can like feel that presence when they in there, whether it be the organist or keyboard player or the drummer or the guitar player. Or nowadays you got the trumpets and saxophones and all kinds of stuff. They got a full ensemble, but when everybody hitting and on one accord,
most definitely, bro.
Church feel like it's a real experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the folk out there can feel that unity in that musician pit, man. They can feel that unity. They can feel that vibe. They can literally feel it, man, and they can see it. But on the flip side, they can also see the discourse as well too.
Oh yeah,
when it happens, they can see that. They can see when and I'm only saying this because we're talking about musicians and pastors. About no means am I saying pastors don't do it, but I think what comes off as the money hungry piece is when we see them come in high, and we see them come in drunk, and we see them. And I know what the typical thing people will say is, "Well, it's the church is the right place for them to be." However, it's still a job, and if you're not gonna disrespect your job like that, don't disrespect this job like that. Furthermore, don't disrespect the Lord's house like that. And so, if I got to pull you to the side and counsel with you and say, "Hey, watch this, watch that," hey, then so be it. Because I'm pastor / supervisor, and of course we have a team of people that kind of help that as well too. But I don't mind taking paying for this, but at your job when you get paid, there's rules and regulations.
Sure is.
All facts,
most definitely.
And it has to be the same thing, because only in church do people feel like I'm so covered by grace I can disregard rules.
Right.
Woo. Y'all caught the right one.
Yeah.
Y'all caught the right one. Like, yeah, like okay, yeah, you got God's grace, but it's still rules. So if choir rehearsal is Saturday, let's just grab it out. Saturday at 12 noon. Let's make up a time. And you coming in at 12:30. I don't care how cold you are. Woo.
Right.
If church start at 10:30 and you walking in and watch this at 10:25, in my mind, you still late.
Most definitely.
And so that's just those are the kind of things we have to kind of watch as well too, on both elements. And same thing for a pastor too. Like, don't chew them out over being late and you late.
Right.
It worked both ways.
For sure.
It's getting a little toasty, when the truth start hitting. But I totally agree. We should, and I also believe that minus the monetary part, you should have a connection with your pastor.
Most definitely.
He should know. You should know his favorite song before he preach. You should know.
Man, if this house wasn't so big, I'd have paid a mortgage for a month. When I pulled up and seen what city it was in and how big it was, I'd have paid it if it was in Silver City Court or something. $8 rent. $8. Yeah, I said it.
No, but
y'all don't even understand the conversation before this camera came on. Is what you know.
Straight up.
No, it's true though. I believe, especially I'm a minister of music. I'm my pastor's associate, but I'm a minister of music. So smaller churches we wear double hats.
For sure.
But I know his songs that's gonna help him minister better or preach better. Or if he's down and out. I always, let's go back, because I know he needs to hear this song so he can deliver the word to the people.
Straight up.
And some musicians, we got to know this. How good service is going to go is predicated on how consecrated you are before you get there.
For sure.
I don't care how cold your pastor is preaching, you set the tone for the word. And if that stage is wobbly, it's gonna be a wobbly service.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's gonna show up. I don't care how cold you are. So you gotta stay consecrated. Your man of God needs that help because he got other stuff he's dealing with, and so that doesn't need to be an added stress to him. He don't want to feel ain't nothing worse than just dryness.
Oh man, but they say, "Amen, lights."
Amen, lights.
Or like a silent spot in the service.
Yeah.
This dryness. And we're here to accompany the man of God. So
Mhm.
the disconnect, I believe, one thing is not communicate.
Yeah.
Pastor and musician got to communicate. You gotta communicate. Let what do you like? What I don't like. What do you think? Well, I think this. Communicate with your pastor. Communicate with your deacons. Talk to them. I got a good relationship with my pastor and the deacons. We cool.
Oh yeah,
Especially when you put that time in and you've been there for a while.
man, for
You
sure.
can't just come up in there and demanding stuff.
Right, right.
You gotta build that time with them, and then they're gonna trust you. And so a lot of times we got to get to a place as musicians, we so focus on money till we forget that yes, it's a job, but this is ministry.
Yeah.
This is ministry. Of course, you want your check. I understand. Nobody's saying you don't deserve your check, but first of all, this is God's house. Let's take care of God's business. Let's take care of the people, and then you get taken care of. What did Jesus say? Seek ye first the kingdom of God
Right.
and his righteousness and all these other things.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where I'm at with it. So as a musician, sometimes we get beside ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We get beside ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to humble ourselves.
Yeah. They say I'm the
Because
man.
there's some cats right now that can outplay you that would tear up your church for a sandwich.
Yeah.
And so stay humble,
sure.
bro, because there's somebody out there. Don't think you're irreplaceable.
Right.
Anybody's replaceable.
Yeah.
But man, not only that though, Rev, let's take it further, man. And I say this with all due respect, wherever this video may go. Man, let's look at how the Lord has been calling people home. Arkansas, the musicianship here in Arkansas has been hit hard and heavy.
Yeah.
And so, man, like you say, man, always perfect that craft, because you never know when, although you may be playing auxiliary or you may be in seat number 2, you don't know when that seat is going to shift to seat number 1.
For sure.
And so, man, make sure you're faithful holding that hand up so that when it's your turn, then people will receive you as well. Because whether you know it or not, man, how people receive you or people's perception of you is reality. So if they see attitude, preachers too, I'm telling you, preachers and pastors too, if they see attitude or if they see rebuttal, if this is what they see, this is what they know.
Right.
And so if you was unfaithful in the second seat, don't be upset when they bring in the outside musician, because now watch this. It don't matter what the ink on the paper says as far as a resume.
For sure.
Ma'am, sir, we saw your actions.
Yeah.
And I grew up with this saying actions speak louder than word.
Yes, sir, Doc. All facts. For
sure. I'm talking about the second seat, and we gonna veer off. So as a minister too, one thing I always would tell other preachers, be the associate you want when you become a pastor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of times we done went to school. We think because we done superseded our man of God. We done went to school,
right?
And now can't nobody tell us nothing. Right. Nah, buddy. Nah. Yeah. If God wanted you to lead, He would have put you up there.
Boy. Yeah, for sure.
Take some humble pie.
It's humbles.
Eat it.
Slice it up.
And serve.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people miss their blessing trying to sow discourse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you think you can out preach somebody or you can out hoop somebody. Right. Now you think you can go start you a church. No, buddy, it ain't that simple, buddy. Yeah. So you need to stay humble, still glean to your man of God.
Yeah.
Until God pushes you up and puts you in that role. Right, a lot of people fail at that. Musicians, stay on auxiliary. You may only be doing the 8:00 service.
Right.
Ain't nobody there. Stay humble.
For sure. Build
your craft up. A lot of folk want to jump into being the top dog and they ain't never served at the bottom before. Boy, and so that's where a lot of people mess up because they want to jump into leadership and they ain't never served nothing.
You don't know how it works.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It can be your time, but not your turn. What I mean by that is, man, like you can have what it takes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but if it's not your season,
Right.
it's still you living in the moment
Yeah.
of not yet.
Mm.
Please understand, man, that battle, that discourse between Saul and David.
Woo.
Please understand when you read that story in its entirety, man, Saul had the position but lost his anointing.
Mhm.
Right.
David had the anointing but didn't have the position.
Mm-hmm.
And what God did was, man, he had each one of them in a spot, so much so to where even when Saul was trying to kill David, David was still faithful to Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the times David could have
Right.
killed Saul, he
Straight up.
said, man, I can't do him like this because he's still my Lord. Like he's still my king, my Lord. I can't do him like this.
Right.
But he didn't realize he about had the favor on him. And so I'm saying all that to say, man, you have to understand that even in that second seat, understand the Lord's timing.
You're right.
I don't care how cold you are.
Boy.
Yeah, that court was so cold. Yeah, matter of fact, you played some stuff that was colder than seat number one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, until God says go,
Mhm.
you're
Sat
still in seat number two. And
For
you gotta
sure.
learn how to sit somewhere and sit down, because you may know how to play those black and white keys, but you may not know the theory. And
No.
so when
Right,
it's time to
right.
actually teach and it's your turn, now you wonder why people dropping out the choir, because you only know how to play, but you don't know how to teach.
Right.
And I know we have ministers. I know we got
For sure.
people to teach now, and I know we have people to play, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, like know the entire crowd.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
dual roles for sure. Man, that's major. Just to kind of piggyback, like from what we were saying earlier, I don't know if I'll just say this. It's always been relevant that, like you say, pride and ego kind of get in the way of the
Mhm.
church. And I said this on the last pod we had. Churches, outside looking in always looks like a show, as like pomp and circumstance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got the choir, you got the preachers, and ushers, and a lot of people come in there and they put on the face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that kind of is part of, I feel, is the problem. And what I love about us is we keep it 100. I don't know if the kids still say that, but we keep it 100, and the realness, I believe, is coming back to the fold, to where now people are more awakening and not taking the word out of context, but trying to put it into context, not making it work for their good. You know what I'm saying? So basically just being able to just keep it real, more authentic. So
Mhm.
ways that we can implement that is, like we're saying, being able, if we do see that spirit on somebody or the way they moving, like
Mhm.
Pastor was saying, pull them to the side. Hey man, let's change this about this. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going any further if you keep this type of energy.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? Moving forward. And like I said, I think that's where the disconnect, like we talked about before, between the seasoned saints and the young generation, is there's nobody's like really trying to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? So if we could really start doing that, you know what I'm saying, then it'll be more of the youngins like really trying to cling to the
Mhm.
older, trying to understand the story, or
Doc,
be
you
more
have
like
no
Christ.
clue what you just said.
Yeah.
You have no clue what you just said. When we was coming, and I'm 43. I'm the shortest and the oldest one in this panel right now.
But he in the
Yeah,
most
let-
shape.
let-
He in the
let-
most
right,
shape.
right.
He gotta run us down the street.
Let me say again, they on stools. Like, he
Right.
tall for real. Well, which way am I pointing? Because the camera. Yeah,
Right,
hey,
yeah.
hey,
His eye.
we the same height. He for real, and he is. Hey, he on a stool. You understand me? And my seat won't as high as it'll go. Hey, listen, P just said something major, man. I ain't trying to cut off.
No,
man, but
you good.
No,
you good.
man,
Stop.
when
That's
I
what it's
tell you,
about.
man, I remember, as I'm 43, I remember when our fathers and grandfathers was grabbing us when we was young to go
Yeah.
fishing, like waking us up to go pick worms, making us clean fish, making us everything they did. We had to do it. They was training us because they wanted us sooner or later to take their position and know how to do it.
Sure.
Now, this generation, if you're not in a certain circle or a certain clique, now it's
Yeah.
about to get real.
Yeah. Let's
When
do it.
if you're not in a certain circle or a certain clique, it's people like, man, they don't want to teach you everything because You'll mess around and be better than them.
Mm.
And now, if
Yeah.
you mess around and get better than me, my position is at stake.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things with no, man, bridge that gap, man.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
So that watch this, it's not about taking positions, but it's about being ready for the position. I created a leadership packet, man. I got my first book out. I'm working on the other one. I do a leadership class. And one thing I teach in my leadership class is this: leaders are not permanent.
Boy.
Listen to me. Leaders
Yes,
are not permanent, because as long as you're a leader, you're a human.
Yes, sir.
And whether you want to or not, you're going to leave this place.
Yes, sir.
Your parents going to die one day. God, listen, and if anybody lost one, I don't mean to say it harsh. Your boss is going to die one day.
Yeah.
Guess what? Your pastor, I know that hit different for you. Your pastor is going to die one day. And so watch this, man. You got to learn how to bridge the gap. So when that seat comes available, we don't have to teach what they should already know.
Right.
It can be a smooth. It should be a smooth
Mhm.
transition,
Yes, sir.
man. I tell St. John, man, if I die on my way to that church for that 25-minute drive from Sherwood to Lone Oak, listen, man, if something happened to me, I ain't gonna say it on here what I be saying, but no, this is cool. This is a cool argument. Man, listen, you Negroes better still have church.
Yeah, for sure.
It don't. It's
Right.
not on me. It's
Nope.
not. The church don't rise and set on me.
Right. Right.
Thank you Thank you for the respect you give me.
Right. I'm just a vessel.
I'm just a vessel.
Just a vessel.
Straight up.
Just a vessel.
Man.
That's where a lot of cats, first of all, think they invincible.
Yeah.
They think they invincible.
Yeah.
And because you get a lot of praise, and I think that's what happened with Saul. He was a people pleaser.
Right.
And what
What a good talk.
we be people pleasing. We be people pleasing, and we wonder why God was looking for a David, because you can't lead people being a people pleaser.
Not at all.
That's why God was like, listen, I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna be after my own heart.
For sure.
And so one thing that I always take into consideration, especially with my pastor, he been preaching way longer than I've been able to probably wipe my own butt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He been preaching longer. He know.
Right.
I went to seminary, but Pastor Jackers know way more. He been pastoring longer than I've been preaching.
Yeah, wisdom, bro. Yeah. Super solid.
Most definitely. And so I'm learning from the second seat. And one thing I learned, and shout out to Dr. Cox, he put me up on game. He said, James, when you're watching us, glean the good things and also learn the bad things that we do. So when you become pastor, you know what to do. And sometimes we want to put our opinion and stuff all the time, and it ain't our time yet.
Right. Yeah.
It ain't our time yet. I love Joshua, how God had to force Joshua to take that seat. He said, Moses, my servant, is dead.
Right.
Ain't no other choice.
Right. Leadership don't
Get
last
up.
forever.
That's where we need to be
Was
at.
that chapter 1? What did
That was
start?
chapter 1.
That
Joshua.
started. Hey, Moses, my servant, is dead. Had that
Hey.
started, like,
That's
He
why.
gone.
Doc, whether you want to, you it.
Yeah. You next in line.
You next in line. But until chapter 1, Joshua knew his role.
Knew his role. For sure.
And a lot of folk don't know their role. And that's why because we see a lot of discourse.
Yeah.
Because I think I know more because I done got 2 extra degrees. I'm proud of you.
Great.
That's good. But it ain't your time yet.
Right.
Talk, man.
It ain't your time yet. God ain't speaking to you just because you got 2 more degrees.
Right.
He's speaking to the leader. So you are in the second seat, third seat, whatever seat you in.
Right.
Chill out.
Chill out.
And let God speak to the leader while he speaks to us. Because if God wanted to talk to you, he gonna go through your leader first. And let me say this: if your leader is wrong, you still should obey your leader, and God's gonna deal with him.
Quickly.
Talk, Doc.
Yeah. Straight up.
I'm telling you, it ain't your job to try to bust out your leader. I can't stand that.
Right.
Trying to bust out your leader in front of you.
Because
Don't do that.
It's clout.
Because
What I
now
heard.
when you become leader, whatever you sow, you gonna reap
You
that
gonna reap it. Somebody
times
gonna,
12.
yeah, somebody gonna get you.
And so,
them tables gonna turn.
They gonna
and
turn.
so,
Yeah.
as a musician, I remember I served the white.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little ashy, crazy boy, but I still served them as my leader.
Yeah, super. Yeah.
Y'all cold.
Yeah. Y'all was.
Y'all cold. Y'all cold, man. Y'all gotta understand these cats. They ain't been doing this no 10 years. These cats been doing this 15 and 20 years. So he's sleeping on himself, and I love his humility. Like, man, but this cat is cold. Like, my sister can call this dude. My sister can call him right now. This dude has shown up for funerals. He didn't even know the people. This I know. For the Bible tells me. Hey, you know, it's like this cat has been. Listen, man, and whether y'all know how cold he is on the set, the vocals are crazy. Man. Like, I'm telling you, man, they usually have one of the coldest. I ain't mean to cut y'all. Like, these cats are the truth. Like, they speaking from experience, man. They speaking from that. So
yeah, it's personal because I done seen cats that's cold at preaching, that's cold at playing, but that humility is shot.
It is,
and it makes your testimony shot as well.
Oh yeah, you trash.
Like, you cold, but I can hear the arrogance in your playing.
Right.
Like, I can hear it. I can hear the arrogance in your preaching.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, you over trying to wow the people instead of trying to serve the people. Right. God didn't call you to be top. Was a top dog in the prison.
Right.
The prison, top dog.
Right.
God didn't call you to be the top dog. He called you to serve people. Yeah, that's what Jesus said. If you want to be great, learn how to be a servant.
Yes, sir. Stay in your lane, bro.
Stay in your lane.
Like, Rev, that same story, man. So, man, listen, I hope I get my characters with. This one ain't supposed to be a Bible study, so I hope I get this right, man. Listen, check this out. We was talking about Moses and Joshua. When you support your leader in wherever they are, it affects the people. This is what I mean by that. When Moses was on that mountaintop, he realized every time my hands go down, the Amalekites win. Every time my hands go up,
we laying the smackdown.
And so it's like, man, listen. So Aaron and Hur, watch this. This is the part of the story everybody forget. Aaron and Hur goes up to keep Moses' hands lifted because they realize if the leader's hands are up, it's victory for everybody. But it's not just victory because his hands, I'm about to try not to go to church. It's not just victory because his hands are up. It's victory because as there is a spiritual battle going on the top of the mountain, there is a physical battle going on in the valley. So Joshua had to be faithful in the valley. While Moses had to be faithful up top. And so once they learn how to stay in their own lane, watch this. It was victory for everybody.
Most definitely.
Watch this. Joshua wasn't trying to run up top yet because he knew my favor is in the valley.
Right. Yes,
and until you realize, watch this, it's no just favor at the top of mountains. But when you realize God can give you favor in a valley, you'll learn how to be you'll learn how to be faithful wherever you are. Because you realize, man, I'm not tied down to just right here. The anointing is on my life. So I ain't got to just be at my house in Sherwood. If the Lord want to bless me on I-40 on the way to Lone Oak, I ain't got to wait till I get there. Listen, man, I've learned how to be happy in my truck.
Turn it on. We better catch
it almost shifted. It almost. So, man, that's how serious it is. But until you know your heart, like you said, the heart of your leader to know, man, I ain't got to rush up. Aaron them got his back. But I'm supporting my pastor even down here.
Most definitely. And check this out. Check this out. Pastor Jack is trust me with his congregation. He trusts me with anything. Why? Because yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And do I agree with everything? Who don't? No. Who don't?
Straight up.
But that ain't my job to agree. My job is to be obedient.
Oh, that's the key.
Be obedient. God didn't call me to agree to agree with everything. He called me to be obedient. And so a lot of people miss out on a blessing because they disobedient because they think they know everything.
Yes, sir. For real.
And that comes with musicians. If your pastor, listen, we may not sing the song we rehearse. If you want to hear something, let's do it. Let's be obedient.
Right. For sure.
Because at the end of the day, he's the one up at 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock interceding for us.
Yeah, the stuff you don't know.
While we
right, sleeping hard, slobbing.
He interceding for us. And we trying to get in that first seat, not understanding we ain't built for that yet.
Yeah, for sure.
So stay in your lane, Joshua.
Yeah. Stay in your lane, bro.
Joshua stayed in his lane.
Oh, most definitely.
I'm speaking to folk that's not staying in their lane.
Yeah.
Be like your brother Joshua.
Yeah.
Because he was an even better leader because he was a great second seat servant.
Yeah.
Preach,
man.
man. Y'all
Straight
better
up.
listen at him. Y'all better listen at him.
Jericho got tore up because he understood and learned from Moses' mistakes. Because he didn't send 12 spies. He said, "No, we ain't going through this though, bro. Let me send 2 of them jokers." He sent 2 spies instead of 12 because them other jokers, they came back and said, "Listen, bro, this land there, it's some good land, but there's some giants, my boy."
Big.
They big, bro.
And so God was like, "Oh, that's what we doing? Ain't nobody going."
Not only are they big, they food big.
Yeah.
Right? You seen the grapefruit?
They got scared, and the Lord was like, "You know what? Ain't nobody going. How about that?
How about that?"
And so Joshua learned from his leader. He learned his pluses and his minuses.
Yeah.
And so Joshua was a dope leader.
Dope.
But so we gotta understand that. Listen, it's okay to be in the second seat.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay not to be in charge. It's okay to be obedient. Everybody want to be the leader till it's time to do leader stuff.
Boy. Yeah, buddy.
Boy.
It hit different.
We want to be leaders until it's time to be a leader. When it's time to give an account.
Yeah.
No, because when we stand before the Lord, you want to be a leader.
Right.
Because that's one thing that helps me. I'm going to stand before God one day.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Let me be obedient. Because he gonna check me like, "Hey James, remember February 2nd, 2000 and whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to understand. You got to give an account for everything you do, and if you've been butting heads with your leader, you have to give an account for that.
Right, for sure.
I'm not gonna do all the time.
No, that's right. But
yes, sir.
What y'all boys on is very serious, and man, it always go back to the beginning. Pastor spoke on this. Calhoun, we said the spiritual part is so heavy, right? A lot of us do a lot of physical fighting, whether it be, trying to gain clout or trying to look a certain way or get some type of credit that you don't even deserve, versus looking at what does God consider. And that's a daily task, right? Because, we human, we flesh, we're going to drop the ball. But if you are striving to get to a point, you have to really humble yourself and be like, "God, what direction should I go?" Have some type of game plan. Let's just not just jump out there and be like Byron was saying earlier. He was like, "Man, a lot of y'all, because he's physically athletic. He's like Captain America, but the black version. What's the dude with the falcon with the arms?" But my man said he like to run in this heat. That's fierce, right? But hey, that didn't happen overnight.
That's Mamba mentality.
Right? That's Mamba mentality. But a lot of us try to go out here because we think we cocky or still got it. Be like, "Man, I'm finna go out here and hoop. I'm gonna show these youngsters. You gonna go out there and get yourself killed." You know what I'm saying? You got to prepare for battle.
I'll be on a t-shirt.
You feel me? So with this spiritual warfare, it's not nothing to take light. We really have to really do the work. Everything requires work. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, in order to build something, to wake up, to go to sleep, to eat, like, we take this stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? If you really start listening to your body, and this ain't no health kick, but this is just acknowledgement, start looking at what you eat and see how it affects your body.
Right.
Right what I'm saying? Start eating more vegetables and fruits and stuff. And you go to sleep, you're going to feel way more energized the next day than you ate 2 triple, quadruple, double cheeseburgers with
extra
hella
fries
bacon on
and
it.
a
You know what I'm
milkshake.
saying?
And a Diet Coke.
And a Diet Coke.
Put some more bacon on there. Hurry up. Put it on now. But give me a Diet Coke just because,
Wash it all down.
Yeah. Let me
but sure.
put a little more salt on them fries. Hurry up. Put it on now.
Turn the grease up.
Yeah, hurry up. Turn the grease. Make them just a little crunchy.
Just a little crunchy. So
Y'all ever tried? I mean, when I was in college, I'll be running late. Listen, man, like I'm about to miss something publicly. A lot of people don't know. Like some folks love their food hot. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't like my food hot. I want to enjoy mine. I don't want like my mouth with 3rd-degree burns. Like y'all ever ate food hot? You
Be skin hanging off your tongue.
it hurt.
Nose running. Like I was like, when did it get cold outside? Why my nose running? Like I just listen,
Take them hot fries.
man, no, you sure right,
Man,
man.
but for real though, with the spiritual walk, if we
Uh-huh.
could what's the group? What's that who sing that sweep around your own front
Was it
door?
Kenny? That's a
Williams brother.
Williams
Williams
Brothers.
Brothers.
I love the part they
Swing
used to,
around mine.
I like the part at the joint where he said, take 6 months to mind your own business and take the other 6 months and leave other folks alone. That's a whole year.
Yeah, dog.
If
Mhm.
we can start doing that and becoming more spiritually committed to understanding how God operates,
Most
not
definitely.
how your big mama operated, your mama and daddy, your sisters and
Yeah,
brothers,
man, yeah.
but actually get the word and understand the principles.
Yes.
Like Pastor was saying earlier. You got a job that has rules and regulations.
Sure
I
do.
think we forget sometimes that God has rules and regulations, and it's not to hold us up, have us bound. It's for protection.
Mm-hmm. We
And
got an
sometimes-
adversary.
Yeah, if I understand that if I go out here and play on 630, like I got the right of way, I'm gonna get hit by a car.
About that diesel.
You know what I'm saying?
Bow.
Bird. It's rules and regulations. I just can't do what I want to do because when I operate
Uh-huh.
in my will, there's consequences that come with that. But when
Right.
when we operate in God's will, you'll understand. You start reaping more things, and you just like God. That's all I had to do was be obedient. Simple.
Doctor, you know, man, you just said some powerful stuff. So the reality is this, and I can speak for the right pastors, man.
Yeah.
My goal, like my prayer, is to see people better in stages. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see you better than you was last year.
Right.
Then I want to see
Sir.
you better than you was 6
Right.
months ago.
Mhm.
And so I tell St. John all the time, like, man, listen, if you had a drinking problem, be patient with your people. And I'm gonna tie it in a minute. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
okay, I understand you may have had a drinking problem. You was on 12. You can do a 12-pack of beer
Mhm.
in one day. But if you come to me saying, man, I'm down to a 6-pack, most guys will crucify you. I'm like, Doc, that's progress.
Yes,
sure
big
is.
progress.
That's progress. Like, celebrate that.
For real.
Mhm.
So I'm saying that to say, like, man, a pastor, our prayer is to see the person's heart better. So from pastor to musician, and musician to pastor, like, I don't have a problem with looking at you financially, but at least show up to Bible study. Like, I don't just care about your crap. I care about your heart.
That's the big
Woo.
part.
Like, I care about your heart. Like,
sure.
man, and I have a problem with cats that's never at the spiritual training stuff.
Mhm.
Like, I understand it's not just enough for 11 o'clock service. Like,
Right.
like
Mhm.
what else are you doing to better yourself? Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me you at home, you know, reading your Bible or whatnot, because every time you pull up, I still see it with dust on it in your back window. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. When the last time you really did an in-depth Bible study
For real.
for yourself? When the last time, musicians, when the last time you really showed up for something at your church that didn't involve pay
Woo.
Oh.
or food?
I don't log off because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'll come when it's something that'll benefit us.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh, what they paying? This is an extra gig?
Right.
Are they feeding? Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna be. No, but when is the last time spiritually
Right.
you set aside time and got with your pastor said, man, listen, pastor, I'm really trying in this area. Can you help me out, pastor? I want to learn how to pray better. If we feel your heart, the things you've been asking for, the reason your pastor is saying no or not yet is because he hadn't seen the serious side of your heart.
yes.
Yes, sir,
We
Doc.
don't want, listen, man, I tell St. John this all the time, fellas, and I'm so serious.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's one thing to be faithful, but I don't just want your tithes and your offering.
Right.
Woo.
Like, if you walking around here and you out of shape because you obese, no, I'm the pastor that care about your health.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm that guy, like, so much so, like, look, do we need to do a church walk? Do we
Right.
need to, when we have the
Yes.
food, do we need to say these foods are not allowed?
Right.
Mhm.
For real.
Why? Because I care about your heart.
Heck
And I think when
yeah.
musicians learn that,
Mm.
that listen, man, we're so serious. So it's not that we're saying no and not yet, and you don't deserve.
Mhm.
Man, it's more so to the fact, like, man, let me see how serious you are first.
Mhm.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
let me see how serious you are first. Let me
Yeah.
see. Let me see if you'll take initiative and show up the Bible study.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me see if you'll have a Bible study instead of a choir rehearsal that day. Let me see you
Mm.
teach the choir this song. Like before you teach this song, before you teach the notes of the song, let me see if you could teach the meaning of the song
Right.
Woo.
With the words, yeah.
with
In
the
it.
words,
Yeah.
like in the
Yes.
scripture that goes with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's-
major.
That's one thing, I believe, that especially minister of music or worship leaders, we should be able to give an account on why we singing this song.
Right.
Certain songs we don't
Yes.
sing because they ain't biblical.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I want two wings. Where
only two wings I want is from
and what is that? See,
Popeyes.
yeah,
from Wingstop.
yeah, Wingstop.
Wingstop.
Dog. Speaking of Wingstop tips, if you don't mind, yeah. And if these two wings should fail me, meet me with another pair. Then I'm like, okay, so like you mean to
Put
say
a
like the
Bible out.
Lord to give you something that's gonna fail? Like
Last time I checked.
and,
Pull
and
the Bible
I
out.
love, like
No comprehension.
No comprehend that.
yeah. I've been running for Jesus a long time. I'm not tired yet because you ain't been working.
I've been working with you.
Listen, Doc, I get tired. And I know we talking about two different tires. I ain't gonna be that deep. Come on, Doc.
Right.
Man, listen, but
Boy.
spiritually you can do so much. You can do so much spiritually, you can be drained physically.
Yeah.
And then you can do so much physically, you gonna be drained physically.
Indeed.
So if you running for Jesus a long time and you ain't tired yet,
boy.
No.
No.
he
I'm
wasn't
not
ready.
No, one
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
one thing, and I try to live by this principle,
Yeah.
especially, musician and second seat as a minister. This is a spiritual battle. When I step
Most
on my
definitely.
keys, that's my soul. No, not my soul, but it's one of my
Yeah.
weapons.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
I'm fighting in the heavenly realms.
For sure.
Yes.
And we gotta understand, it ain't just we just playing and getting the check.
Right.
We fighting demons, and I don't mean
Real.
demon. I'm talking about demons.
Demon.
I'm talking about
Right.
real one, like Satan's agents.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so,
Spiritual, man.
it's a spiritual battle, and people are fighting in those pews.
Yeah.
I'm reminded that David was playing the lyre of the harp, fighting demons off his
Yeah,
King
man.
Saul. Like we have to understand this is a spiritual thing.
Yes.
And your
Major.
pastor's fighting in the spirit realm while he's sitting down because the enemy's shooting darts. And when you get on them keys, set the atmosphere
Boy.
to where
Yeah,
the
Doc.
where
For
the
sure.
enemy can't show up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I gotta get up on out of here. And so,
Right.
that's important to me. And then when another thing for preachers, when you try to step into that first seat, notice this: you're gonna be fighting devils that you ain't equipped to fight yet.
Yeah.
Doc,
Yeah.
Stay on
they
that.
gonna come.
I didn't hear
They
about
coming.
it.
They gonna come.
They're gonna come. You
Boy.
trying to fight devil. You trying to fight seat one
They ain't
devils.
got horns. They got short dresses.
You trying to fight seat one devils and you
Yeah.
seat two, buddy. It ain't gonna
Buddy.
happen.
Little buddy.
God's
Yes,
trying
man.
to protect you
Yes,
until
sir.
you get ready. Until you are in that position,
Mhm.
man. Listen, chill.
Chill.
Sit down in that
Relax.
second seat. But understand this, y'all, especially as musicians, we gotta understand that this is a battlefield.
Yeah, for sure. It ain't
Every
just
time you
work.
turn that Yamaha Korg or whatever, or flip the Leslie on the organ, it ain't another gig. This is fighting time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I see it. Everybody don't see it like that.
Right. I mean, it's the truth. But like you say, most people get in the game just to get some change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Byron was saying earlier, back in our day, you had the men like really huddling and trying to bridge the gap.
Most definitely.
They trying to teach you the skill set. Now people just getting the skill set just to be like, look at my credentials.
Yeah.
Now cash me out.
Cash.
See, I don't know if I told you. I think I told your father one day, man. Like, I remember, man. You guys, I was playing in the first year I remember I was the first one to bring drums in the church. In '98, I played for free. I was started in '99. The church bought a drum set and played for 11 years. I remember when our pastor went somewhere, it wasn't no, hey, you going? We had
it was Mando.
I remember those days. Like I remember that. Doc. Like I mean.
Well, no questions.
Nope.
Listen, if it was a funeral at our church, it wasn't no whose is it.
Nope. You there?
It was at 11 o'clock.
Right, be there.
Be there at 10:30.
For sure.
Listen, man, I really honestly.
You be there for the body to get there.
Yeah. So you got to play when they come in. For real.
Like they in there.
Yep. You might have to direct traffic.
Yeah,
park over here. Y'all park over here.
It's different now.
Yeah.
Cats, if it ain't a check involved, they ain't showing up. And
but I get it though.
I do.
Let me jump on the other side as a musician too, man. I get it. Like I get it, man. I understand y'all have different things. I understand you have a life. I understand you have a family. I understand that funeral is on a Saturday and you got a son and that's football league.
Right.
I really honestly get it, man. So I don't know if I want to stab on this one and be like, because they couldn't make the funeral, they ain't faithful. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, pastors, we got to have an understanding heart too, because we may get paid enough to where we can probably call off or something like that, man, and some of them getting paid as well too. But man, listen, some stuff they probably can't miss. We don't know, man. Like I'm saying, man, we got to respect them just as much as they respect us. I'm saying that as a pastor. I'm saying that from the top down. Like we got to respect y'all just as much as so we. Pastors, we can't mistreat and mishandle them neither, and pull the pastor hat.
Right,
yeah, man.
I'm the pastor.
You need to be here. Yeah, I'm the pastor.
Right.
Lord told me that you need to. No, man, stop that. Man.
For sure.
But like, really?
That man got a family too.
Right.
That man got a family too. So we got to understand.
And something you spoke on, if both pastor and the ministers of music, if everybody is really building spiritual, that won't be no problem.
Exactly.
It won't be no problem. That'd be light work. Be like, man, go ahead, do what you gotta do. We can have a backup. Like you said, James showed up to funerals he didn't even know of. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And it's been times
you what I know.
And when you are spiritually continue to be tapped in, if you are a musician who's worried about, man, I need a gig or whatever, I'm telling you, God gonna make a way. For years, I didn't get no type of reimbursement, but it'd be a cat, old school cat. My man, Mr. Sampson, he'll call me up. He'd be like, hey, man, I'm doing this little gig. It's going to be, nice little old, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be in there chilling. We're going to play some old cuts. I'm going to cash you out. Random. On times when he didn't know what was going on in my life, but I needed. I showed up with my kit. I'm in the pocket. And I got chicken strips and, some you know what I'm saying, some sweet tea and all kinds of shit. It was a nice event. And what's so crazy is I enjoyed it because even though it was outside of the church, but we was playing like some old school, like Johnny Taylor and all that kind of stuff. We was cool in it, you know what I'm saying?
Lady at the casino.
Yeah, we was killing it. But to see the vibe of everybody in that building, it reminded me of church. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I'm saying, like, when I got to the point where I didn't depend on the church for everything, I started leaning and depending on God to give opportunities.
I was just about to say that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I didn't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna come in some shape, form, or fashion. I was just like, all I gotta do is what Booby Miles said. This is God given. All I gotta do is just show up.
Play football. No, but I respect that because when I made that transition of I do it because I love God, the funds come.
Yeah. For real.
I get calls, but like, hey, can you play? I don't be like, yeah, I do it for 3-4. I'm like, yeah, I got you. How much you want? Whatever you feel like blessing me with,
right?
That's on you.
For sure.
All right. And it be like straight.
Yeah.
And that's because I ain't going looking for that.
Nope.
I do it because I love the craft and I love God.
And you serve it.
And I'm serving.
That go back to the key principles. I'm about my father's business.
Yes.
What my boy T.I. said on ATL, be clear. This here my daddy house. You know what I'm saying?
I do it for the love of God. I mean, like, God ain't gonna let you take care of his business. And he gonna be like, man, I ain't got it this week.
Yeah.
So he ain't gonna let you look stupid.
Not at all, bro.
Not on if you doing for him. Nah. We
Straight
gonna
up, straight
gonna
up.
open the windows up, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
Overflowing, bro.
God has a way. God is so abnormal and sovereign in His ways.
Great word.
God, listen, man. We be mad at God because He don't move our way. Here you are. You've been praying for God. I need this money to show up. God may not want to make money show up. God may want to put the bill on hold.
Straight up.
God will put your bill on hold until your money get there. And you be wondering, like, normally I know for a fact my lights get cut off around this time. But God will make them bill collectors mess around and lose your paperwork. Give you an extension. God is crafty and sovereign in all His ways. And so we have to learn how to trust His heart
For real.
and His hand, man.
Yeah.
We got to understand how to do that, man, because He moves in ways that are unexplainable and unattainable to us, man. We just have to sit. Honestly, man, that's why I see now why the old folks used to say, while you trying to figure it out, He's already worked it out.
Yeah.
I see that now, man. I see that. And so when we learn how to trust Him, even in that relationship from, pastor to musician to pastor and all that, man, when we learn how to keep God as the core.
Man.
Yes.
And even put away some of our way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is what I would like. But when the last time we said, like, Byron, sit down your pastor hat. No, God, what would you like?
Yeah.
At
Straight
this
up.
musician.
Yeah.
And the same thing, musicians. Not how much does this pay, but like I'm looking for a pastor that can lead me while I'm playing.
Right. For sure.
I hold all the musicians accountable, Doc. Like,
yeah.
When we go out, I'm gonna be honest with you. When we go out to eat, you call either one of them right now. We go to a service, they better not pull out their wallet. I got it.
For sure.
I got it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I do, man. And so, because I appreciate this.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I really, honestly appreciate you all's craft.
Yeah.
Man. And on behalf of all pastors, if we've ever purposely disrespected you all, and took your gift for granted, man, on behalf of all pastors, we apologize. Man.
That's dope.
Appreciate it.
We apologize because I know we messed up.
That's accountability.
I know we did, man. I know it's been times we asked y'all to be there. And I know in y'all's faces, like, hey, man, mama wanted me to be at the house early, man. I got the family.
Right.
But you didn't want to let your pastor down.
Right.
We still asked y'all to be there.
Yeah.
We apologize.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate it. We appreciate
For sure.
it. We appreciate you. Y'all, it's almost 8:30. We've been up in here giggling, having a good time, man.
Right.
An hour. Y'all, I want to first of all thank Pastor Calhoun for coming down here.
All these snakes on this plane.
We appreciate him.
Man, thank you for having me, man. I enjoyed it.
P as always, my co-laborer.
Oh yeah,
on the pod. I appreciate you, y'all. Listen, please support the Lounge Talk.
Yeah.
Share it, on the replay clue. Not replay clue. Replay crew. You been sipping on something this morning.
He said clue for some reason. My dumb mind went to blues. My mind.
Oh man. But yeah, replay crew. This will be on YouTube. So whenever I upload it, go ahead and share it. We just want to support the Lounge Talk. We're just trying to just to build the kingdom of God with a little small platform.
Sure.
We always want to build God's kingdom, wherever or however we can. So we appreciate you. We love y'all. Who's on tonight? Crystal, that's my wife. Y'all appreciate you.
Really?
Bernica.
Yeah, that's my wife. Yeah.
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
I can't read all y'all comments.
What kind of stuff was they saying?
Bernica said this. She got a big one right here. Someone told me one time I need to brag on myself more, and it came from an arrogant, cocky person. Get what they meant. It feels strange to me. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Everybody else just agreeing on our stuff. Y'all, do me a favor. Y'all can talk on here if y'all want to sometimes. Thank you for the likes. I love you. But we're going to go ahead and get over here. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good rest of the evening.
Yo, stay cool.
I almost said have a Merry Christmas. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you when I was at Northwood and your daddy suspended me.
You got suspended, dog. Y'all, my pop was a principal, y'all.
So
mine too.
You're right.
He told us to quit kicking them ant piles. We was kicking ant piles, and he gave us the option. He got 2 weeks of Saturday school, 2 days suspension.
Over ant pile? Is that in the rule book?
Nah, but
I'm
Y'all was kicking it on people.
I'm surprised my dad didn't say, kick another one. I'm gonna make you stand in it. I'm gonna make you stand in it.
Right.
I'm gonna make you.
You gonna learn today.
And so one of the dudes told the janitor, we was walking by, we was sitting on the lockers because we was in trouble. We sit by the lockers. And he said, Merry Christmas. It was the guy who got up. Go tell your mama have a Merry Christmas.
I'm wondering if that shit. Hey, what y'all don't know is I used to have to clean the school up. But all of my siblings, man, we was janitors at Northwood.
Oh, wow.
We was all our first job was cleaning up my dad's school.
Oh, that's hard. That's why all y'all so solid.
We all NP alums, ain't we?
Listen, man, right?
Oh, hell to the maroon and go.
Yeah. It may not be that no more, but
Oh,
still.
yeah. It's rubber.
Still.
Y'all, you wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. Falcons.
Woo, boy, we used to get whooped every Friday, boy. That's another subject in itself. Y'all have... Hey, P, we be turned
lit.
We be turned Friday night.
Boy,
at 7, we be turned by like 8 o'clock. Yeah. 55.
Cut the lights off, man.
That's all right.
Pick me up.
It is. I had fun though.
Principals didn't even stay to the end. They started going home at halftime.
Right, for real. Out of here.
Shout out Mr. Humphrey stayed. Shout out to Mr. Humphrey.
Yeah,
God bless you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good evening. Mm-hmm. We love you. Be blessed, y'all.
Peace.
What's good, my beautiful people? This is James, and I'm so grateful. Me and Pernell Maxwell are grateful that you took the time to watch the Lounge Talk. Listen, we're grateful, we're humbled, and we really appreciate you for supporting our podcast. Do me a favor, like, tag, and share.
You are listening to
the Lounge Talk.
The Lounge.
Whatever conversations you want to have or topics that you want to discuss, go ahead and drop it in our inbox, and we'll be more than happy to discuss those with you. Listen, I appreciate you. I love you. And listen, I pray the blessings of God over you. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Relax. Listen to the Lounge. Listen to the Lounge.